Hey there, Chris. First of all, tonight there's a public hearing on the proposed budget, and then 1 week from today, City Council is expected to vote on it. This budget includes funding for 14 new police officers, hiring them. And you'll remember back in August when the mayor proposed this, community activists showed up in opposition.
Officers are pulled from 911 call to 911 call. And as the data shows,
the police are not being held accountable with the numbers they have. And so the community doesn't support additional police officer funding.
Let's take a look now at some of the key proposals. The budget would total $1.62 billion, and $31 million of that would go toward affordable housing. $1.35 million would fund cultural districts throughout the city, which would mean street sweeps, trash pickup, better lighting, and art. And then $250,000 would go toward programming to connect people of color and low-income residents with higher-paying jobs, specifically tech jobs. All right, if you are interested in weighing in, the public hearing is tonight just after 6 o'clock in room 317 here at City Hall. Chris?
Lots of ways to spend that money. We'll have to find out how they do it. Thanks, Kaya.